All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Hello. Hello. If I could, but it'd be a little loud. If we could get everybody to please come over and take a seat, we'll get started.
Working? Oh, it is working. Dave! You want to do this, Dave? You want to do this?
Do I what?
Do you want to do this?
Not really. Yeah. Been there, done that.
He's like the ghost from Christmas past. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you guys for coming today. I appreciate it. It did make noise. Paul, do I have to wait for it to do something? I'm good? All right. It's very loud, Paul. Oh, okay. That's me. This is our 8th annual Inventions to Impact Award ceremony. So I'm glad you're all here for this, and it's the first one back after last year's pandemic version, which was all virtual. As that says, I'm Doug Hochstead. I'm the Assistant Vice President for Tech Launch Arizona. And this event is where we gather with everybody in the ecosystem to honor the people and the entities that are really working to make the university's technologies get out to the world and have an impact. I'm going to start with our land acknowledgement. Sorry, fly is joining me. We respectfully acknowledge the University of Arizona is on the land and territories of indigenous peoples. Today, Arizona is home to 22 federally recognized tribes, with Tucson being home to the O'odham and the Yaqui. Committed to diversity and inclusion, the university strives to build sustainable relationships with sovereign Native nations and indigenous communities through educational offerings, partnerships, and community service. I also want to thank our sponsors. They're scrolling across the top there. In particular, I'd like to thank Nguyen and Tarbet and Casimir Jones, our gold level sponsors. These sponsors actually allow us to hold events like this. They provide funding and support for everything that we do. And if you're interested in learning more about our sponsorship program, please let me know. Now, to kick things off, I'd like to ask Betsy Cantwell to come to the stage. Betsy is the Senior Vice President of Research and Innovation, and she's also my boss.
He's doing it again. Ruh-roh. Thank you, Doug. Good evening, everybody. As Doug said, so I've been at the University of Arizona for 2 years. It really feels like a lot longer than that. And I can squarely blame the pandemic for that. But my title is the Senior Vice President for Research and Innovation, which is a new position at the University of Arizona. And as soon as I got here, I changed the name of my organization to Research innovation and impact. And the reason was that I had a pretty broad portfolio, broader than the previous vice president for research, that was really associated with tech transfer, our tech parks. Some of you have benefited from being able to participate in the UACI opportunities that are available through the tech parks. And all of that really points to how do we have impact in the community, in the region, and really for our inventors even. How do we deliver services for our inventors? So I wanted to signal to our sister universities as well as our region and our Board of Regents that we are really all about impact. We are focused on impact. And how do we enhance our capabilities as a university to deliver our research all the way through whatever set of steps it needs to take to have impact. A lot of that ends up being in the commercial world. In other words, a lot of that becomes how do we encourage and enhance and allow our faculty to begin to think of themselves as inventors, to begin to take the work that they do and turn it into patents and other versions of commercializable work, and then to actually allow them to become founders, and then allow them to become the people who take their original research and deliver it out into impact in the world. That is a major component of the way that we have impact. One of the reasons I came here, I actually came here for President Robbins. I knew him before I got here, and I think he is a person who understands innovation ecosystems, understands the critical role that universities play in really being the linchpin in anything that stands as an innovation ecosystem. Both he and I came from the Silicon Valley world, and we came from research institutions, and we know that nothing happens without them. So the University of Arizona is the linchpin in an innovation ecosystem. What to me is interesting about Tucson and Southern Arizona is we have phenomenal people like Doug, we have phenomenal people like Carol Stewart doing delivering services through the tech parks. We have nascent entrepreneurship training capacities like the Forge, but we also have, outside of the university, a growing ecosystem. So we have been doing startups for long enough that we have a little bit of a groundswell of founders, former founders, people who have experience in that world. We also are a place where a lot of founders were born, and they went off and did their thing in the world. They may have gone to the University of Arizona. They didn't stay here. They went and started companies somewhere else. And this is beginning to look really interesting and attractive to them as a place to live and a place to be part of an ecosystem. Finance is flowing in our direction. The development of places to put your startup. So think of that in any way you want to. I think of it in terms of, do we have the baby steps that a faculty-based startup can take inside the university in terms of separate innovation spaces that are not part of your federally funded lab, but are places you can actually start a company? Do we have places for them to grow to develop out of? Do we have full-on incubators? Do we have accelerators? We're building all of that in Tucson. I take no credit for any of that. I think Doug should take a lot of credit for some of it. Carol Stewart should take some credit. And many of you should also take credit. But what I am good at is seeing an innovation ecosystem when it's early in its development. I've lived in a lot of places like that have become real innovation powerhouses, and we have all of the bits, and they're bubbling up. So that's why I came here. I'm really grateful to Doug for allowing me to step into the new role and roll up TLA underneath research, innovation, and impact. I'm going to sing your praises just a little bit because I get to, I didn't have anything to do with it, but it's really cool, and I'm super, super glad that it's part of my portfolio. TLA has generated an enormous amount of successful growth over the past 5 years. I've been here for 2 years, but if you look over their career, which you'll have to help me, started in 2012, so about a decade. A record 124 license agreements recently, 17 new startups launched, and this is 2020 if I recall. right, 2021. Grew the number of inventions disclosed and patents filed from previous years. So that's probably the hardest part, is really getting our faculty and our graduate students and even our students to see not just the value, but the way that they can integrate going through the process of developing and perfecting their own intellectual property while they're doing all the other things they're doing in their life. The University of Arizona also issued a record number of patents, 100, I believe, last year. So we are on the uptick as an institution, but really because our ecosystem is on the uptick. It's really sort of, we're the pointy end of the spear, but none of this would happen, none of this growth would happen if the whole community wasn't actually participating. It does, however, start with our inventors, most of whom are one way or another affiliated with the University of Arizona. So I will just say kudos to all of you. I have just a hint. My dad was a startup guy who became an angel investor, and I got to live as his child through many failed startups and many incredibly successful startups. And it is about those of you who take your work and turn it into impact, regardless of what the ecosystem looks like. And I wish I had more time to just hang out with all of you. It would make my day much brighter, trust me. We all need to think about how do we, all of us, even those of you who have just created a startup out of your own technology, how do we look at our community and say, how do we provide a more comfortable ground for more of us to engage as inventors and creators of startups? I think of that as really providing the capacity, the physical capacity and the training capacity all over the place, all over the university, all over downtown Tucson, really spread it as much as possible within our community. But you may have entirely interesting and new and different ways of thinking about how do we take our capacity and ask our participants, our potential participants, our faculty and students who have not been involved to join us. That's not something you hear very often, but I will tell you that it is the way that we will grow our ecosystem, so that this is a place that we not only grow it ourselves, but others want to come here and they want to actually do their work here. They want to have their startup here, or they want to invest here in Tucson. And Tucson is a remarkably lovely place to live and do that. So tonight we're performing what I think of as an essential activity, something I as an engineer had to be trained to think about, honestly, which is celebrating our successes and celebrating ourselves. And so we're honoring the contributions of some of you who have, mostly within the University of Arizona, have worked within our ecosystem and delivered impact. And I'm really, I'm honored to be among you. As I said, I wish I could spend more time with you. I could do this all day long. I wouldn't want to do it. I don't want to work for it. I just want to be what's the right word for someone who just, a dilettante. I think that's the right word. I want to be a startup dilettante in Tucson, because this is the place where the energy is incredible and it's happening. So thank you all for what you've done. I'm not sure what's next after me, but good. I think we will actually have an opportunity to award some people and honor some very specific activities, and I'm happy to be part of that. I'm really sorry we didn't get to do this last year, but here we are, and thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us in person, and we will do it again year after year, and I will put a mark in the sand that 5 years from now, we will be amazed at the way that our innovation ecosystem has scaled, coronavirus notwithstanding. So thank you all.
One of those is mine. You. Thank you, Betsy. And not to keep patting each other on the back, but we couldn't do this without the support of RII and Betsy. She mentioned the 100 patents. we've always said that just getting a patent isn't our job. That's really kind of the thing that we use to get our job done. But it's worthwhile noting the increased stature the university is getting. With 100 issued patents last year, that moved us up from 2 years ago. That moved us up, what was the number? 38 spots? 38 spots in a world patent ranking. And so it is an impressive feat of everybody. And as Betsy was saying, I gotta thank all of you for showing up. There was definitely a lot of angst about, do we hold this in person or do we not hold this in person? And I'm glad we did. I think we're all ready to kind of get out and enjoy. Yes, thank you. All right, so all that being said, over the years we've honored many different individuals for different things, and it's really about bringing these inventions that start in the lab, somehow getting them out to the bedside or to the computer desktop or whatever. And we could not do that without everybody that's here, from inventors to mentors to investors and to business leadership that join the startups that we launch. And it's worth noting, not everything we do is a startup. About 65 to 70% of what we do is not a startup. It's licenses to existing companies, and we've had some incredible success with that. In fact, one of those inventors is going to be honored a lot during this year. So I'm now going to go through the awards, and what I'm going to have everybody do is, as I announce the award, I'll have you start to come up, and I'll just keep reading my little introduction, and then you please stay. Actually,
I'm going to put this down and then.
Okay. And then when I'm done with my part of it, Betsy will hand you the award, we'll shake hands, we'll get a picture of us, and while that's going on, there will be a video playing of that person that's been prepared. So, that all being said, we're okay on timing? All right? The first award is going to go to Inventor of the Year, and I'd like to ask Sadhana Ravishankar to come up. Probably there, I guess, that's good. So this award is really about an innovator who's demonstrated a significant commitment and contribution
The inventor.
to commercialization and working with us. And in particular, we focus on the last year, although it'll often encompass their career. Sadhana is Associate Professor of Animal and Comparative Biomedical Sciences in the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences and Bio 5. And she's been working with us on developing a natural antimicrobial product for the marketplace. And last year actually launched her new company called Phytocentric Solutions to commercialize the work she's been doing. She's been an incredible partner for us, both from the perspective of taking advantage of the resources that we have, as well as being an outspoken proponent of what we do and the success. So along with thanking her, I also, and I don't know if Shane is still here. Yep, I want to thank Shane. Shane's been a great partner of ours and supported Sadhana throughout this, so he deserves congratulations as well. So congratulations, Sadhana.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead and walk around. Oh, I'll come around too.
The Inventor Year of the Award from TLA is an incredible honor for me. I am very excited, motivated, and encouraged to do more and continue pursuing my passion. One of my dreams in life is to provide a practical, natural solution for the food industry that can help consumers eat healthy foods with the confidence that they will not get sick. To pursue this, I started investigating natural sanitizers for washing salad vegetables. I'm so happy that this research branched out to finding a universal sanitizer that can also be used by the general public, not only on food but also on surfaces and as a hand sanitizer. And I'm here not just because of myself, because it is a team effort. At this stage, I would like to thank Dr. Bibiana Law who is the CEO of Phytocentric Solutions. And I would also like to thank Dr. Daphne Cruz, who is the Chief Strategy Officer of Phytocentric Solutions. A special thanks goes to all my staff members, specifically Dr. Govindaraj Devkumar, Libin Zhu and Richard Park, and also all the graduate as well as undergraduate students who worked tirelessly all these years in my lab to achieve the scientific results that have brought me so far. Finally, for a woman entrepreneur to be recognized like this makes me feel so empowered, and I hope it serves as a motivation to others. Please do not hesitate to pursue your passion. The sky is the limit, and definitely go for it.
Nice. Good job. All right, our next award goes to Startup of the Year. And for the startup, it's presented to a U of A startup, and maybe for context, a U of A startup is someone that is a company that's primarily formed or on a license to U of A technology. And it's the U of A startup that in the past year has had some kind of significant activity or event that kind of raises them to the top. This year, the award is going to Botanisol Analytics. Please come on up. Zach Brooks is the Chief Operating Officer, right?
No, Chief of Staff.
Chief of Staff for Botanisol Analytics. And Botanisol actually is focusing on technology that was developed in the College of Optical Sciences, the James Wyant College of Optical Sciences. And it's a molecular detection instrument able to very quickly analyze test samples. And in fact, I think you had a video going on, so maybe if you haven't seen it, there'll be a little time afterwards if you want to go see what they're doing. They've received a lot of recognition already over the last couple of years, and recently actually won funding from the Department of Air Force and some other federal contracts.
Absolutely.
So accepting the award is Zach Brooks, and on behalf of the company, and congratulations, Zach. That's awesome.
What an exciting moment for Botanisol Analytics, and I can't help but thank Tech Lunch Arizona and all of their team. Let me just name as many people as I can name. So Doug, Paul, Sherry, Dave, Joanne, Bruce, Eileen, Rocky, Lewis, John Jackson, Shane, Grace. And I'd also like to thank former Mayor Jonathan Rothschild, who put me in touch with Tech Lunch Arizona a few years ago. Having finished my PhD at University of Arizona, and now getting to work with Dave Talentfeld, a fellow University of Arizona graduate at Botanisol, it's just a thrill to come full circle.
We are so thrilled and honored to receive this award. Our U of A ties run deep. I have two older brothers, and all three of us went to the U of A. Together we have 7 degrees from the University of Arizona. The university is a shareholder in our company, so our success is your success. And special thanks to Paul Tumarkin and Doug Hochstead for making this possible. Onward and upward.
Bear down.
Yeah, he does. That was good. Our next award is a relatively new award. Actually, we started it 2 years ago, I believe, and that is to the Student Innovator of the Year. Now, Student Innovator of the Year is an award that's reserved for students who, over the last year, have shown some kind of contribution, really high-level contribution to what TLA is doing and to commercialization in general. This year, the award goes to Sahan Sabet. You want to come up? There he is. He's a PhD candidate in the College of Engineering, and he and his team originally came to TLA with an idea for a new generation of drone that can both roll and fly, which I think they have set up over here. Along with Colin Taylor, another recent U of A graduate, the team launched a startup called Revolut Robotics. And they were honored in April as well, correct? Winning the McGuire New Venture competition. They've just been an amazing story and really cool technology. So congratulations. Thank you. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Sahan Sabed, a PhD candidate from the Department of Aerospace and Mechanical Engineering. For the last 4 years, we've been working on rolling, flying robots. Picture rolling and flying BB-8s. After talking to people from different industries and talking to people as investors, they suggest that we should take this idea to actual product level. And that's when we decided to license this technology from TechLunch. 8 months ago, I had no idea what is the process, how to patent things, how to start selling things. And that's where TechLunch really helped us. So if we had mentors that helped us on the weekend, non-stop. And at this point, I feel like I learned many things that I had no idea before. I'm really honored to receive this award. And I want to thank TechLunch for all its efforts and giving students a chance to bring an idea to a product.
Nice. Nicely said. Our next award is for campus collaboration. The campus collaboration is really about honoring a person or an entity within the university that's really kind of exhibited a strong desire to support commercialization, to work with TLA, to what we say is make it happen. This year's award goes to Mark Van Dyke. Mark, interestingly, Mark's only been here a short time, but Mark actually started interacting with our office before he started at U of A. He and I were talking on the phone a couple of times before he even got here officially. And since that time, he has really enthusiastically engaged with us to do different things, take the office in new ways, write grants together. We've really been doing a lot, and I'm impressed with his attitude. Now, he's also an inventor in his own right. He has, I think, over 30, right? Over 30 patents issued, and 3 startups. Is that right? So just on his own, he's an incredible contributor. Hopefully we'll get some of that here. But anyway, most recently, like I said, he partnered with us to write a grant that we have high hopes that it'll be awarded, right? It will be. It will be awarded. All right. Thank you, Mark.
For engineers, we're natural problem solvers. We like to work on things that actually improve the quality of life. And there's a limit to what we can do in our laboratories, right, on campus. And so at the end of the day, these things have to get out into the real world. And TechLunch is that conduit, right, that helps us do that. So to get connected to places like TechLunch Arizona, to the overall entrepreneurial ecosystem and build those ties and build the strengths of those relationships with engineering to that conduit, to that whole community is really important for us as problem solvers, because at the end of the day, that's how we have impact. Shout out to Doug Hochstad. He's sort of my partner in crime. Doug is someone that I got connected to actually even before I started. I tell the story that I think I sort of met Doug in July. I didn't start my position until August. So literally before I was boots on the ground in Tucson, I was already working with TLA and Doug. I was on a grant with Doug. And he's been my main point of contact and a real champion for the stuff that we want to do in engineering. He's got a great staff. I've met many of those folks as well, and I think TLA is a great group of people and really important to the future of the College of Engineering. The partnership is very much appreciated, as is the recognition and the award. I've only been here for a year, and so to be thought of as a person who's already had impact in the short time that I've been here, it's surprising, to be honest. But very much appreciated.
And if you didn't notice, all those things on the wall behind him were some of his issued patents that he's gotten. And I should mention, he also helped us, Paul and I in particular, come up with a new patent recognition program that we're instituting this year. So those among you that had patents issued in the last year, you'll be part of this. All right, the last award for the evening is for an Ecosystem Impact Award. You do very well.
Thank you.
So the first award was really about someone inside the university that's really contributing and connecting with us and making things happen. This award is for someone not inside and not a university employee that's connecting with us and making it happen. This year we're giving this award to Eric Smith. And he brought his own cheering section. That was nice. So Eric, interestingly, Eric actually used to work in TLA, but there's no favoritism here. He actually helped us build our commercialization network when we first started, which was over 1,500 people, and then was hired on to actually manage that network for a while. He then had the opportunity to go run UACI, and since he's taken over UACI, you just got to give him credit for the amount of activity that's grown. They now have, it's over 50 companies, and almost 60 companies, sorry. And 35 of which have University of Arizona ties, and 12 of those are actually U of A startups. And that's the most we've ever had in UACI. So it definitely deserves recognition that he's created an environment and a system that is really supporting what we needed, supporting our startups after they launch. So other than that, I should mention that he's also a U of A alum. And that's, I guess, it. That's all the points. So thank you.
It means a great deal to receive TLA's Ecosystem Impact Award. Personally, I consider myself a part of the TLA family. I got my roots in university technology commercialization as a part of the Tech Launch Arizona team. So this means a great deal to me. But in addition to that, it doesn't happen alone. And while I'm humbled and excited to receive this award should be shared amongst folks like Carol Stewart, her vision, and the folks here at the Tech Park, Anita Bell, and our whole team at the incubator, and of course, all of the folks that help innovators throughout Southern Arizona, whether they come from the university or the community, to commercialize their technologies and find success. The University of Arizona Center for Innovation serves scalable science and technology ventures that come from many different inputs. In some cases, our team serves innovation that comes from the university. In some cases, that innovation comes from the community, from around the nation, and sometimes from even outside of the United States. One of the most important feeders that we have to our incubator is the technology that is born inside of the research labs at the University of Arizona. And partners like Tech Launch Arizona are really able to take that innovation, solidify the intellectual property, and prepare a startup company to launch and come to an incubator like ours. So when TLA does good work, we already have a head start on helping the resulting startup commercialize their invention and make it to the marketplace.
Nice. So that's it. Those are the awards for the. I'd like to congratulate all of the award winners. All of you were well deserving. I'd also like to thank all of the expo. Hopefully you guys have had a chance to walk around and see the different things that are going on within our ecosystem. It's kind of a combination of cool technologies and startups that have launched. And I'll put the call out there for any of you that are empowered by this and are excited by this and want to get involved. Reach out to us. We'd love to have you get involved in our ecosystem, get involved with Tech Launch. We're always looking for mentors, we're looking for business leaders, we're looking for subject matter experts all the time. So please do reach out to us. And with that, I'd like to thank all of you for coming, and please enjoy, have some more food, and go check out some more expo stuff. Thank you.